Welcome back to Facebook Live with me here, Linda at Land Labour Kenya Limited here at Valley View. I'm glad to be back with you on another Friday. You know, I hook you up with amazing information where you learn how to invest, when to invest, and what to invest in. And this time I'm going to be doing a new series. I remember the last 3 or 4 Fridays we've been talking about chamas, and we've walked through what a chama is, how to identify a good one that meets your needs, and how to just identify things that are deal breakers or things that usually happen in chamas that are not so good, that you might not want to participate in one because of them, or they won't surprise you when you see them. You'll know how to navigate. And this new series is basically just stuff to do with land, which is like our original reason for being here. We're going to walk through our products. You're going to see how they're really good deals for you because of flexible payment plans, location, and just basic needs that you have as a land investor. And then I'm going to walk you through the different categories that we have here. Yeah, because they do fall under different categories. And then the last episode of the series, we're going to walk through how to buy. So that might take a little time. So we might end up breaking it into 2 sessions. But either way, I think it's going to be an exciting journey. And welcome to Facebook Live here with me, Linda. So our products are in 2 categories. The first one is called Chanuka, and the second one is called Hazina. And these 2 differ in the fact that one is land options offered for proposed subdivisions, and that's Chanuka. And the other ones, the properties usually have ready title deeds. So that's the main difference. The other things are actually nitty-gritties, like payment plans and stuff like that. In this session, I wanted us to walk through Chanuka, just talk about what it is, what it offers in terms of benefits, and the last thing would be, of course, which products are in that category. And so you can gauge from what we talk about if you fit in that category. And then next Friday, we're going to talk about Hazina, what it is, the products that are in it, and then you can probably gauge after we have had that talk, which product in the Hazina category is something that you would be interested in. And then feel free that even as I talk or when I finish, for you to write or just inbox us your email. We'll be able to send you the profile for the requested particular property. Or if you want to see the entire catalog of the Chanukas that we have, just inbox us and let us know. Or you could just strike a conversation on the comment box and say, I want to know more, and we'll be very willing to send you a profile. And the profile usually has lots of information. Most of what I'm going to say is really the same thing that we will email you, so that you can have a better point of reference, and you can save whatever material we'll send to you, and even share with your friends to see if they could also benefit from a Chanuka, a Hazina product. All right. So yeah, so we start with Chanuka. Chanuka is a Swahili word. And of course, if you speak Swahili, you know Chanuka usually implies being smart, or like a journey of being smart. And when you come to Nairobi, which is usually like the biggest urban center in Kenya, you get exposed to a lot. You start to grow mentally, your exposure grows, and you become woke perhaps, and so people will say that you've chanukad. Yeah, so buying property is a way of chanukaing as well. So the property itself usually lies in the pathway of development. It's usually in a place where there's a lot of potential for growth, and we know that because we do a lot of research on the Chanuka products. We know exactly what happens, what's going to happen along the property. We usually know who's bought next to us. We make a point of understanding who our neighbors are, what they're doing, even to a larger distance away from us. We want to know exactly what's going on that will help the property to grow in terms of value. And even though it's a rule of thumb that land always appreciates, it's important for a buyer or even a seller to just look around and ensure that the property they're investing in is something that is truly promising. And so Chanuka is usually like that. It's on the pathway of development. And even though usually it's a bigger chunk, which has a mother title, so it's not like it's titleless completely. It has a mother title, or it has a certificate, and the subdivisions are proposed. And at the point where it's time for you to get your title after you've purchased, then your title will be made at that point, all right? Or it will be already ready. So why we're saying it's a proposed is because usually when you buy like 50 acres of land, you have to subdivide them and register the small subdivisions that you've made, and that takes a long time because of a lot of bureaucracy, and there's searches, valuations, lots of things that happen before land and new titles are registered. So when we put out a Chanuka product, we usually put it out for a maximum of 2 years, where if you begin to purchase a property as soon as it's launched or it's put out in the market, then you have the full 2 years to pay. If you come after a year, then you have a year to pay. And by this time, by the time the 2 year time is lapsing, we are busy preparing the title deeds, we are busy with the subdivisions and stuff like that. And we usually want to promise, or we work hard to promise that by the time the 2 year period has ended, then we will have the title deed for the particular property that you have bought. And then we can hand it over to you after you've completed payments, and you can go on and do the transfer. Or if you want to use our legal team, then our conveyance department will try their best to facilitate a fast and remarkable and safe title delivery to you. So the properties that are there, probably I'll start with my favorite. The favorite one I know and I would love for people to just explore is in Naivasha. Everybody knows Naivasha is a go-to place over the weekend and over the holidays. It's probably better than Mombasa, in terms of what it offers distance-wise, and a variety of things you can do, and the variety of hotels, and the lake view is magnificent, And our property is in Moreira. It's going for 890,000 Kenya shillings, and you pay it all the way up to April 2020. I know it's an amazing deal. 2 full years for you to buy a dream place to call your own. So yeah, that's one of my favorite ones, and the expiry date is April 2020. And then the second favorite one for me would be Nanyuki. It's very close to Sweetwater's ranch, and it's very close to the Olpejeta Conservancy, and that's also like a yay for anyone who wants to invest in property. You have to look at what's close to it, and does it add any value to your property, and how nice would it be for you to say, I have property a few kilometers from Olpejeta. It sounds great, and it is indeed a great thing. That one is going for 330,000 Kenya shillings, and still its expiry is the same time as Naivasha. It's April 2020. That's 2 years from now, guys. Right? Okay, so we go to the other one, which is a great one as well. It's in Manga, close to the border, and on the way to Amboseli National Park and the reserve and the hotels. It is in Manga, and it's going for 390. And the expiry date is also April 2020. And it's also a remarkable place. The view of Mount Kilimanjaro, the hills around, the road, it's close to Olgulului town and 17 kilometers from Namanga town. And Namanga town is a really fast growing town. So it's truly on the pathway of development, and it's something someone would really need to explore. Just 500 meters from the property is a proposed airstrip, which also makes it another yay. Next to it is a church, and there are people around it. There are people who've bought opposite it who want to do lots of farming and stuff like that. So it has a lot of potential, which of course everybody should want to try and explore and see how it fits. And then we have another property. It's called Isinya 4. I know people have heard about Isinya. It's been a very popular place when it comes to land investments, and lots of companies are selling there. The difference probably would be where exactly in Isinya, because it's a huge huge place. And we have two products rather, in Isinya, the Isinya 4 and the Isinya Hazina, which we will of course handle when we are speaking about Hazina products. But the Isinya 4 is going for 390 Kenya shillings. And then the payment period is up to October 2019. And that's also one amazing thing because it's very close to the Konza Isinya bypass. It's close to a railway line. There's a water project right there. The compassion offices are within a stone throw away. It's a pretty good and just potential full place, which you would probably do yourself a favor by exploring. And yeah, so basically that would be like my top whatever list, top 4. And then the last but definitely not least is the Capsule Rate product, which is in Eldoret. And we usually make a joke in the office and call it the Karen of Eldoret because it's in an amazing place, very scenic, very close to the road, close to schools, close to the airport. And it's somewhere where, especially if you come from that side, you would really do yourself a great favor to purchase it. So you can buy that one at 750 if you're buying through cash. If you pay it one-off, it's 795 actually. So that would be also a great, just a great thing considering where it's at and how it looks. You probably need to explore that, and we could email you the profile so that you can look at it. In fact, the profiles of all those ones that I've mentioned. Then I started out with Naivasha, I went to Nanyuki, and then I did Namanga, I did Isinya, and then I did Eldoret. So guys, that would make up our Chanuka products. We've done 2 or 3 successful ones before. Guys have bought, they've been sold out, and we've done their title deeds, we've done parties for those people, and we're very proud of the people who just worked really hard to make their payments and finished, and we celebrated them, and we still honor them for being our pioneer clients, and also just realizing that the best place to put an investment in your money is actually land, because land, as a rule of thumb, always appreciates. So all the best as you explore our product. See you next Friday as we explore Hazina.